we're not safe.
There's just so little support for guys, you know, around my sort of age, early 40s, who were in this situation, and it's a very difficult situation to be in.
One of the things about actually running it as a cooking group was to actually share the meal afterwards, and that was one of the best parts.
Just to see people in a similar sort of situation and going through some of the same things that I'm going through can be counselling in itself.
It's a simple recipe, a tablespoon of support, a pinch of learning and a cup of understanding. Put them together and you get a unique mix called Men in the Kitchen.
There's an emptiness in your life, obviously, which can't be replaced, and it's good to be able to kind of just talk about that and discuss how you're coping with moving forward in your life, given the circumstances you found yourself in.
What Steve and the other men have in common is they've all lost their wives to cancer at a young age. They're young widowers looking to rebuild their lives.
It's a very traumatic, devastating thing to happen to you, particularly in your prime of your life.
There's lots of shared experiences and personal questions to be answered, thrown in with the less obvious, like what to do with a sweet potato.
You wash it, yeah, and any sort of obvious lumps and holes and dirt, and just chop off the sort of the ugly bits.
After the death of his wife, Steve discovered a lack of support for men of his age. The only organisations catered to older widowers.
They told me, they were very kind, very welcoming, but they told me I'd be the youngest by 20 years if I went along to their association, and they're all doing their bowls and ballroom dancing and all that sort of stuff, and it wasn't really what I was looking for.
Steve got together with Anna Petterson from the Solaris Cancer Support Centre, and with some money raised by friends and colleagues after his wife's death, they began Men in the Kitchen.
Running bereavement groups for men are notoriously difficult. Most men find it difficult to talk about emotions at any point, and even more so if they're talking about emotions of their wives having died and how they're feeling at the time.
Rather than offer up a counselling session, Men in the Kitchen is a cooking class as well as a casual get-together.
Walking through the door and being given a glass of wine immediately took away any fear of, it's going to be a bereavement program as such.
A new recipe is learnt and cooked each week, but the best part is sitting down to share a meal together and having a yarn.
For a lot of guys, the thought of sort of one-on-one, sort of full-on counselling is perhaps not what we would most like to do. So something like this, a bit of camaraderie is probably more up our alley. So yeah, from that point of view, I thought it was really good.
Sasha's wife lost her battle with cancer last Christmas. He now cares for his two young boys as well as juggling the household and his workload as a GP.
Was it just cooking you were looking for?
No, I guess it was mainly to see people in a similar situation and see how they were coping and just to see how they were dealing with the sorts of things that I knew that I would be going through in the next few months.
The Men in the Kitchen program has been so successful, more courses have now been organised for the rest of the year, and hospitals and organisations in other Australian cities are now looking at their own Men in the Kitchen.
This is a new program that we can actually share with the rest of Australia, so it's very exciting.
Happy days.